What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of this random sculpture I'm making. This is completely random. I'm not trying to make anything in specific. In this video I do the chest area and a little bit of the back area, and I show you how I go about doing it in time lapse. I think this really brings it all together and makes it look more like a bust, like it's supposed to. And it's very simple what I've done. I mean, I didn't really add much. Kind of looks like it, just looking at it. But once I break it all down here in time lapse, you'll see that it didn't really take much to get it to look like this. Starting off, I'm using just some rolled out snakes to kind of bulk out the areas on the sides. For like real quick bulking, I used some pretty large snakes. You guys all know that I like to use measured pieces, and the more control I have over the clay I'm using, the easier it is for me. A lot of people like to just pull little pieces of clay and add to the sculpture as they go, but for me, I lose a sense of symmetry. I mean, everybody builds their own way, so this is how I do it. And if you notice, I used two snakes on the side and I rolled them up into little round circles. That gives me like a guide for the actual shoulder part. If you're not familiar with a bust is basically a sculpture just from the chest up. It may or may not include the arms. Like, think of the David statue, how the arms are chopped off. That's a bust. But this is like the last of the basic defining of this sculpture. It's pretty much all there now. So now that I got the defining done, I can go back and I can make either drastic changes or add some skin texturing or details. And I'm really wanting to do more altering to it, because usually the way I go with the sculpture is I get it to this point and I just texture it and I'm done. But I'd like to just continue messing with it a little bit. So I thought I could do maybe a video or two of just making subtle changes that I see. Like, for example, the ears up at the top. See how they come into like a V and they just point down? It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't attach to its head very well. So I was thinking about kind of curving it back instead of it going down into the middle like in a V down there. Just have it curve around and maybe follow the eyebrow to give it like this little like pocket, so to speak, where I guess the ear would actually start. Kind of hard to explain, but just stuff like that. I want to keep going with this. Not a whole lot more. This is just a fun little exercise for me. But I want to I just want to do more than what I normally do. And if you notice, I built everything out using shapes. I put the collarbones on. Those were two little snakes. And then the little tendons that attach your neck to your shoulders and stuff that everybody seems to like to add, I put those on. Those were just little snakes that are tapered. I rolled out a bunch of them and added them on there. But this is really simple. I work, the way I work, to me, is just simple. I don't know, it's nothing like complicated, but it really works for me. And putting this in time lapse really does show everything that I'm doing. This was about an hour and 10 minutes to do this, and I don't know exactly how much clay I've used. I'm going to be buying a scale, like basically a scale you melt stuff to, that you use to weigh your mel. I think it weighs up to 10 pounds, which would be cool because I can actually weigh the amount of clay I'm using or something, and I can be more in depth when it comes to explaining what's going on, how much clay I'm using. And for those of you new just tuning in, this is Polymer clay. It's a plastic based clay that stays soft. It never dries out, and it'll stay like this pretty much forever until you're ready to bake it. Then you put it in the oven and bake it at 275 degrees. Usually most of the instructions call for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch thickness. So I'll probably be baking this a good 45 minutes, an hour or so. And I'm trying something new here at the end. This is just straight alcohol. I wanted to just try something different than using clay softener, because I actually like this because when it evaporated, there was no residue and it was very clean. It didn't leave it oily and wet like the clay softener would. And also, alcohol, I found, completely cleans my brushes, like brings them right back to brand new. There's no residue in them, after cleaning those, which was a good little discovery for me. I mean, it's pretty obvious alcohol can break down, all the gunk and stuff in my brushes, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, I really appreciate you for taking the time to check this video out. It means a lot. And let me know what you think about, how I went about building this chest area in the comments below. I really love hearing from you guys, and I really appreciate all the support, all the recent subscribers. You guys are so awesome, and just thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I'll see you here again soon. Thanks again.